My mission is conducting a Bhagavad Gita Jnana Yajna of 108 nights at 108 different mandirs across Guyana. And we've been to Crabwood Creek, all the way to Crabwood Creek, and coming down, and we've gone all the way to Essequibo Coast as well, Pomeroon up the river. And now we're back in the West Coast, and we have a few more days. We are on night number 92 of 108 today. And each night we have been seeing a few verses of Bhagavad Gita with the intention to complete all 700 verses. We're now right about in the middle of chapter 17 of this Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita has 18 chapters. So let me tell you a little bit about what is happening in this chapter. In chapter 15, Bhagavan Shri Krishna gave Arjuna the highest knowledge that one can find in our Shastra, in any Shastra. Knowledge of the self. Knowledge of our oneness with this universe, with Bhagavan. And after that, in chapter 16 and chapter 17, Bhagavan Shri Krishna starts to talk about much more simple things. In chapter 16, he spends all the time on values. Well, values and vices. So positive values like honesty and kindness and straightforwardness and the regular values that we talk about. And he also spent time talking about the vices, asuri sampat, things like lack of honesty and fakeness and hypocrisy and anger, greed. So he painted a picture of what it looks like if someone has good qualities and if someone has negative qualities in their mind. Good qualities bring joy and peace and happiness to our life, and the negative qualities come with sorrow and agitation and all the things we don't like. In chapter 17 now, Bhagavan Sri Krishna starts to talk about things like the food we eat, and the way we do our work, the way we do our worship. And it is as though to remind us that, sometimes in spirituality we talk very esoteric things. But at the same time, spirituality is not about doing great things, but it is about doing simple things in a great way. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna in this chapter focuses on what kind of things we do and how they would be considered, whether they would be considered noble, mediocre, or ignoble, whether they would be considered good, average, or bad. And so many different things he takes in our life that we do in our normal transactions. So far he has talked about the way we worship, and the way we do our yajna, or the way we do our offerings, our work. He also spoke about the things that we eat. The things that we eat show the nature that we have. A sattvic person will gravitate towards sattvic food. A rajasic person will gravitate towards rajasic food. A tamasic person will gravitate towards tamasic food. So food that is conducive, food that is not so conducive, and food that is very unconducive. So Bhagavan spoke about this yesterday. Now Bhagavan is shifted into talking about our discipline. And he will talk about how we give also. So we've seen yajna, we've seen ahara, and now Bhagavan has taken up the topic of tapas. Tapas, the general, simple translation of tapas would be any kind of discipline that we follow with an attempt to make our lives better. So that means when our mind says, I don't feel like getting up. I don't care, mind, if you don't feel like getting up. The discipline is I have to get up. So we engage in disciplines irrespective of the whims and fancies of our mind. Well, the way we engage in discipline also, Bhagavan has something to say about that too. One of the things that discipline does is it burns our mind. When you have to do something you don't feel like doing, but it is good for you, it is painful, mentally painful. I have to study instead of watching TV or whatever, based on the person's age and what they're doing and everything. So whenever our mind goes through that kind of burning, what happens is, it is like, when you put gold in the fire, all the impurities that are there in that gold, they get burned. In the same way, when our mind goes through discipline, all the impurities, like the negative emotions that are there, the strong likes and dislikes that make us do things that are not right, they start to get burned in this thing called tapas. So Bhagavan had spoken about physical tapas, things we do with our body, like worship of Deva, Dvija, Guru, Prajna, wise people, our Guru, the Devatas. He talked about the importance of cleanliness, straightforwardness, non-violence, and now Bhagavan is going to switch to the topic of verbal tapas. Austerity of speech. And actually, we use our speech all the time, but I don't think we always give enough thought to how important, how privileged we are to have speech. You just imagine life without speech. So if you have a really great thought, there's no way to share it with anybody else. And if anybody else has a great thought, there's no way to benefit from that thought. You imagine, can you guarantee that a dog doesn't have a smart thought? Well, they may or they may not have a thought, but we will not know because they cannot tell us, right? So, yes, we talk about how human beings have intellects, and that is the most important thing that makes us human. But along with the intellect comes the capacity to express our intelligence through speech. And so, our speech is extremely important, but it is also extremely powerful, right? People's lives have been ruined by things that they have said. Friendships have been ruined. Families have been broken by just words. So speech is extremely important, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna has something to say now about the speech that we have and how we should be using it. So let us see, now we have reached verse number 15 in chapter 17. So I will chant Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. You all please repeat and then I'll chant the verse. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam. Everybody please chant. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam shayat. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Swadhyaya vyasanam chaiva ramayam tava uchyate. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. 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 Shri Krishna Shri Krishna Kanaya Lal ki Jai. Vamaya tapa uchyate. This that Bhagavan Sri Krishna is going to tell now, he says this is tapas or discipline practiced at the level of our speech. And it is really important because actually we don't think about what we say a lot of the time. we don't know how to speak. You know, you see, we were watching some clips of some movie today and there are little kids talking to each other and you are a slime ball and you are this and they're giving each other insults back and forth and then a few minutes later, oh, you know, I'm sorry I called you a slime ball. Oh, I'm sorry I called you this. I'm sorry I called you that. How many times do we say to somebody, I didn't mean it? I said that, but I didn't mean it. We say that all the time, especially to our family. No, I didn't mean it. At the end of a fight, when everyone has cooled down, no, I didn't really mean what I said. You know? But Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells us, before we say it, we should think about it. So what are we supposed to keep in mind when we are speaking? First of all, we have to ask ourselves, is this thing that I'm going to say necessary? First test of speech. Is it necessary? And more than half the time the answer might be no. It's not necessary to say. But in case the answer is yes, then the next question is, the person that I'm going to say it to, are they going to pay attention to what I'm going to say? You know, you talk to people and we have that phrase, right? It falls on deaf ears. People don't actually want to listen to things that other people have to say most of the time. Now please, if you're a parent, it doesn't matter if your child wants to listen or not, it's your duty to tell them what you have to tell them. But with normal people, we have to ask, are they going to pay attention? You know, if you want someone to listen to you, really listen to you intensely, the best time to speak to them is when you're asleep. Have you seen when people are sleeping and then they start to sleep talk? Everybody's like, what are they saying? What are they saying? That is the time everyone goes to listen to them when they don't know what they're saying, right? So Are they going to pay attention? If yes, then you think about what you're going to say and how it should be. Bhagavan says it should be anudvegakara. First of all, it should not be agitating. It should not disturb the person's mind. You know, when we were growing up in school and then someone would get bullied, the teacher would say, go and say to that bully, sticks and stones may break my bones, but calling me names will not hurt me. Like that they used to teach us to say. Now it is true you could say that, but if someone calls you something that is not nice, of course it hurts. So Bhagavan is saying our words should be anudvegakaram. They should not agitate somebody. Then they should be satyam. They should be truthful. Right? They must be honest. But now, you know, you have phrases like the bitter truth. Truth hurts. Bhagavan says it should be priya. It should also be loving. Means if it is true, it should be told in a loving, pleasant way. So it's not about just saying the truth, but it is about saying it nicely. And you know, the only way we communicate with people is not through words. There's also non-verbal, physical action, body actions that communicate how we feel in terms of what we're saying. So all of that he is saying, it should be pleasant. Then hitam, it should be beneficial. Something may be true, something may be, you may find a pleasant way of saying it, but if it is not beneficial, why to say it? Isn't it? Bhagavan is saying if it is not true, or if it's true and it is beneficial, and it is pleasant but it is not beneficial, don't say it. This is his test. It should be non-agitating, it should be true, it should be pleasant, and it should be beneficial. Now you tell me, when you are having a fight with somebody, and you want to tell them that they were wrong and they made a mistake, in the middle of that fight, you think that what you say is going to benefit them? They're going to listen to you? There's no way they're paying attention to you. So the beneficial thing is, see, when that parent gets frustrated at that child, they will say whatever they have to say and the child will never listen. But when Aji watches the child do something wrong, Aji will wait. Aji will wait for the next day. She will cook their favorite food. She will sit them down. She will smile at them, feed them, and she will say, you know, beta, yesterday what you did, it wasn't good. They will listen to that, or they will listen to the heated screaming that is happening while they're making the mistake. There's a way to tell something that will be more beneficial. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna says this is the test of our speech. Like when you go to a doctor, if someone is terminally ill, you don't want the doctor to say, oh yeah, this person is doomed, they're going to die tomorrow, too bad, so sad. It may be true, but you want them to tell it to you in a nice way also. One doctor said to his patient, I have bad news and I have worse news. Oh, okay. What is the bad news? The bad news is you have only 24 hours remaining to live. What? What is the worst news? I forgot to tell you last week. 1 week has passed and now he has only 1 day left to live and now you tell him I forgot to tell you last week. Anyways. You know when you hear this thing, it seems impossible. How can I watch to tell something truthfully, then to tell it pleasantly, then to tell it and make sure it's beneficial, and if they're paying attention? It seems so hard. But you think back to the time when you were learning how to drive. Or even learning how to ride a bicycle. Right? When you're learning how to drive manual, you have to learn how to steer. Then you have to learn that you have to look at 3 mirrors at the same time. Then you have to press the clutch and the accelerator at the same time. Then clutch and the brake at the same time. Then you have to press the accelerator. Then you have to watch the road. Then you have to see who's going by. So many things. It feels overwhelming, like you could never do all of it. And then in a few weeks of practice, you're playing the radio, combing your hair, waving to your friend, doing all kinds of things while you're driving also. Because that thing that seemed impossible, after you put effort and attention, it became easy. In the same way, if we think about our speech, Bhagavan is saying it will become easy. Now, you might say, well, give an example of what this kind of speech looks like. You know, we could make up examples, but the best example is Bhagavan Sri Rama himself. I will chant this verse for you, this chaupai, where Bhagavan Sri Rama is explaining to Kausalyama. He's explaining to Kausalyama that he has just been banished to go to the forest after he was promised to be made king the day before. So he goes to see her now, and she says, why are you not dressed yet for your coronation? It is such an auspicious day, come and eat something, get ready. And he has to break the news to her that his other mother has banished him to the forest for 14 years. What would you say and how? See how he says it. Bhagavan Sri Rama says to her, Pita Dina Mohi Kanana Raju. My father has given me the kingdom of the forest. So he was just banished from the kingdom. But he says, my father has given me the kingdom of the forest. Jaha Savabhati Mora Barakaju. Where in every way there will be my benefit. So now see, is it truthful? Is it pleasant? Yes. Is it beneficial? Well, he's saying, my benefit will be there in every way. He says, you please give your blessings for me to, for my time in the forest to be fruitful. He doesn't say, okay, Kaima banished me to the forest. She took away my throne. My father has given me the kingdom of the forest. You cannot find a more beautiful example of speech than that, really speaking. Right? So Bhagavan Sri Rama is the example of how we should learn to speak in this world. And there's one more thing, one more quality of speech that is not listed in this verse but is told in the tradition, that our speech should be mitta, it should be measured. You know how some people, they don't know when to stop talking? They go on and on and on and on and on and on. One person came to do a presentation and he was supposed to speak for 5 minutes. minutes later, he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't have a watch." And then somebody in the audience got up and said, "Yes, but there is a calendar on the wall. How for 5 minutes you're supposed to speak and you spoke for 45 minutes? Mitta, our words should be measured. They should be brief. What we can say in one sentence, we shouldn't say in 2 paragraphs like that. So these are the qualities. Now you tell me, we go to school and we learn, at home we learn to speak, isn't it? That's where we learn English and if you have any other mother tongue. At home we learn to speak. Then when you make a mistake, you know, I eated a banana. Then they'll say, no, you have to say, I ate a banana. So whole day everybody's correcting your grammar. I tell you how to say, what to say and all. Then you go to school and they teach you how to speak publicly. You know, you stand like this and you speak with confidence. But who stopped to teach us how to speak, what to speak? That we only get in satsang. Bhagavan Shri Krishna is like, wait, check your speech. Does it match all of these things? Right? Now see, 2 more things about this. One is, you may try to follow all of these things and you may really fit the criterion and speak with honesty and nicely and with benefit and measured. But Bhagavan Sri Rama, in spite of speaking like that, it is described that his words hit Kausalyama like an arrow. Means you cannot control how the other person will feel as a result of you speaking, but your speech is what is being spoken about here. You watch your words. Okay. Now, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells us about more tapas of the mind. Before that, let me just tell you, you know, it is very interesting. Our speech rests on our tongue. We need our tongue to speak, right? And the tongue is also the seat where all of our taste resides. When you're eating, most people eat, it's for the tongue that we eat, isn't it? Who eats for their belly? They don't care what the body wants, they care what the tongue wants. So our Mahatmas explain that this tongue of ours is like the rudder of our personality. The boat has a rudder, and if that rudder turns, that is what moves that whole boat. Our tongue has the capacity to move our entire personality with our speech and with our food choices. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna focuses on both of these things over here. Now he switches to something which is more subtle, which is our mind. Now tapas of the mind. So let us chant verse number 16. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna uchyate. This tapas, this discipline which is going to be described now, is the discipline for the mind. First is mana prasada. The mind should be peaceful. Peace of mind is the first quality that Bhagavan Sri Krishna describes. There's a movie called Kung Fu Panda. I don't know, have any of you watched it, the young ones? There's a movie called Kung Fu Panda, where the panda is a Kung Fu master. And he is now sitting to meditate. And he also really likes food, this panda. So he's sitting there under the cherry blossom tree saying, inner peace, inner peace, inner peace. Then he stops saying inner peace and he starts to say, dinner please. Dinner with peas. And then he starts thinking about the food he's going to eat. Peace is not something you can sit and say, I want peace, I want peace, I want peace in my mind. It doesn't come like that. Right? How many opportunities do we have in our life to worry? From the moment that we wake up to the moment that we go to sleep. Worry after worry after worry. There are opportunities for worry after worry. Yet, Bhagavan is saying, in spite of all of that, our mind should be peaceful. You know, but our Swami Chinmayananda, Puja Gurudev, someone had taken a picture of him when he was a bit serious. It was a serious picture. So they took that photograph and they took it to him to give an autograph. You know, please can you sign this? Well, Gurudev wrote on that picture, there's no harm if you smile a bit. On his own photograph he wrote that. It's okay for your mind to be happy. Here also, it's okay if you smile a bit, you know? You know, when Bhagavan Sri Rama found out that he had to go to the forest, the description given there is Kaikeyi's words were like arrows coming out of the quiver of her mouth. And the target was Dashrathji's heart. And when Bhagavan Sri Rama heard what she had to say, Tulsidasji writes, Mana Musukai Bhanu Kula Bhanu. Bhagavan Sri Rama smiled in his mind. Means in spite of the most shaky possible news a person could get, his mind remained absolutely calm when he received that piece of information. Our mind should be always peaceful, because whatever happens in life, we can't control it. And if our mind is peaceful, then only we can actually respond to it correctly. You know, when you go to a lift, that sign is there. In case of fire, keep calm. Because if you don't keep calm, that is when the trouble will start. So first tapas is, whatever we're doing, we should keep our mind calm. Then the next one is saumyatvam. Saumyatvam is pleasantness, gentleness, a pleasing personality. You want to be around that person because you feel nice around them. You know, there are some people who you're standing with them and you don't know if they're happy or they're sad, because their face is just so straight and emotionless all the time. Have you met people like that? It's scary to be around them because you don't know what is in their mind, right? Or, this is not saying, you know, you tell somebody, smile, smile, smile bigger. And then they smile so hard, they're like, my cheeks are hurting. Not like that. There should be a pleasantness and a gentleness in our personality. Maunam. Maunam is translated, some people translate Maunam as no talking. Right? We're observing Maunam. At our Vedanta course, when we were studying in the ashram, there were a few people who liked to take up this tapas of Maunam. So they would tell everybody they're going to be in Maunam from tomorrow. Or on that day, you would figure out they're in Maunam. Come time for food, we're sitting on the dining table. And they're sitting at the end of the table. Well, from the end of the table, to get everybody's attention. Then they'll start to wave. Then they'll start to point. Then, you know, as all the brahmacharis like to make fun and tease and everything. So they'll be like, I don't understand what you're saying. You want something? What do you want? A tissue? Or like if they're trying to say something to you, they get so frustrated and they start to write it and you're like, I can't read your handwriting. So much agitation, they might as well have spoken and said it in one sentence. Right? Maunam is not just about not talking. Maunam is about discipline in our speech. Means there's a higher discipline that one can practice with Maunam, where you only speak when it is necessary. Not that you don't speak at all. For example, someone came and said to his friend who had just gotten into an accident. He said, I have a driver's license and a car since 35 years and I have never gotten into a single accident. So his friend said, what? How did you manage that? He said, well, I don't drive. It's not about not driving, it's about knowing how to drive. So it's not about not speaking, it's about knowing how to control our thoughts to speak only when it is required. This is what Bhagavan Shri Krishna is saying falls under tapas of the mind. The highest maunam is when the mind is absorbed in the silence of its own self. Basically, maunam would be tantamount to not having any disturbing thoughts in our mind. No disturbing thoughts in our mind. Then, Atma Vinigraha, control over our body, over our senses, and over our mind. Have you met somebody who says, every day now I've been having sweet drink. I've been having too much sugar. From tomorrow, no sweet drink for me. Then tomorrow comes. And there's a sweet, sweet, sweet cold drink in front of them. Grape. And they look and they say, but I was getting pineapple and banana all these days and I didn't get any grape. And I'm really, 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 really thirsty. So I could start from tomorrow, No control. Whatever mind wants, do. Well, mind wants one thing, body wants one thing, senses want one thing, and there's no integration between all of them, and there's no capacity to control them also. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, control over our senses, our mind, our body. With our mind, using our mind. Bhava samshuddhi is purity of bhava, purity of intentions, purity of emotions. Everybody knows some politician who has promised the world. You've seen politicians promise you the world, and you know that they have no intention of keeping their word. One even said, eating my words has never given me indigestion. I can't remember who said it. Someone had said that, right? Anyways, people also do that, where their intentions, they don't have pure intentions when they speak, or when they choose to do things that they're going to do. There are some people who say they want to become swamis, sannyasis, because they're thinking about the respect that they're going to get as a result of wearing orange clothes. Oh, when I'm a swami, people will come and they will do pranams to me and they will honor me and they will invite me and they will give me the first seat. And people think like this and make calculations. Oh yes, when I grow up I want to be a swami. Outwardly doing one thing, but the intention is not a noble one. So Bhagavan says, in whatever we do, we have to make sure that our intention is pure and honest. So this is tapas. Tapas there's physical tapas, then there's verbal tapas, then there's mental tapas. And really speaking, without tapas, meaning without discipline, a person cannot achieve anything in life. A student cannot do well in school if they do not have the capacity to practice some kind of tapas. Sit here. When you open your math textbook, you study math. Not that, you studied 5 minutes of math. Now you feel stressed but I have an English test and English is really hard. Close the math textbook, open the English textbook. Then you start and you're like, oh, but I don't understand anything. Maybe let me go and finish the math, then I'll come back to the English. And jumping from one thing to another. Tapas is, I open it and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to finish it. Will they do it? What will they achieve if they go on trying to jump from one thing to another? Tapas is required to stay on one thing also. Right? So Bhagavan Sri Krishna says that tapas is a really important thing. But now he qualifies that tapas. And he tells us how our tapas can be sattvic, rajasic or tamasic. Meaning that the discipline that we engage in, it can be noble, it can be mediocre, or it can be ignoble. So let us see what he has to say now about noble tapas. 17. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatribhidham naraihi. Apalakankshidiryuktaihi sattvikam parichakshate. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Shri Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Sattvikam parichakshate. What? Tapaha. That tapas is described as sattvic, as noble, which leads to happiness and peace, which shraddhaya paraya, which is done with great sattvic faith, first of all. With great faith I do it, knowing that this thing is going to bring benefit to my life. It is going to bring joy and peace and contentment to my life. Then, that trividham, all three types of tapas are practiced by someone who does sattvic tapas. Meaning, they practice all physical tapas. They serve the Guru and they serve Mahatmas and they serve Bhagavan because they understand that when I serve them, the qualities that are embodied in them become part of me also. They have faith in that and then they do it. Then they practice cleanliness and ahimsa and all. Then speech. They watch that their speech is not agitating, it is truthful, it is pleasant, it is beneficial, it is measured. And mental. They control their senses, their mind. They try to keep a peaceful, gentle, happy disposition like that. Then aphala kamkshibihi. Totally desireless in the things that they are doing. Meaning, if I'm thinking about what I'm going to get as a result of an action that I am doing, like, if I am an honest businessman, right? Or if I don't talk too much, then people will enjoy being around me. So I'm thinking about what people will say as a result of what I am doing. What that means, if I'm thinking about what I'm going to get, it means that I value the values that I'm practicing are only the means for an end. I don't actually value the values, right? So therefore, if there's an easier way to get that thing, then I will compromise on the value, because the value is not what I valued. The thing that I'm going to get as a result of the value is what I value. So, like, if I think that being honest, the same example I started, if I think that being honest will mean people will trust me in business and they will come and give me their business. Well, if there's another way to get their business without being honest, it is not the honesty that I valued, it is the money that I was going to get in the business that I valued. Easy to compromise on that honesty then, isn't it? So, we're supposed to value the thing, not value it as a means. So Bhagavan is saying that when we are doing this tapas, we should value it for its own self, not think what I'm going to get as a result of it. This is what Bhagavan is saying. Then Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, this total desirelessness when we are pursuing something, it applies even to the highest state of when a person sits in meditation and there's supposed to be no individual thought remaining. One person was sitting by the banks of Ganga and trying to reach the final heights of meditation. And one...
One second. Krishna
Maharaj, a great Mahatma, was passing and seeing this person trying to meditate. And he went to Swami Akhandanandaji Maharaj and he said, you know, I'm just not able to reach that state that is described. And Swamiji said, you have to drop the anxiety for reaching that state as well. And then he went and he sat down in meditation. And a little while later, Swami Akhandanandaji Maharaj was passing back, and he could tell that this man had dropped that anxiety, and he had reached that greatest goal, right? So, Bhagavan Shri Krishna is saying that sattvic tapas is the kind of tapas which when we do it, we're not doing it thinking, what am I going to get as a result of doing it? But we're doing it knowing that it is the right thing to be done. Okay, let us see now Rajasic and Tamasic tapas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Satkara mana pujartam tapodam hena chevayat.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yat tapaha kriyate, that tapas which is done, and as he's going to describe it, rajasam, proktam is described as rajasic. So now he's telling rajasic tapas. What is it? Satkara, which is done thinking about the good reception that I'm going to get as a result of doing this tapas. Or mana, for great honor, thinking, if I sit and do this thing, then I will be recognized, I will be given the highest honor of a Guyanese citizen. So they're thinking about what they're going to get as a result of what they're doing. Pujartham, people will worship me. When I go there, they will do arti for me, they will do puja for me, they will give me mala. Like that they're calculating and thinking, right? Sattvic means, Bhagavan described physical tapas as worshipping devatas, worshipping wise people, worshipping our guru. But this person is thinking about how he is going to be worshipped, right? Worshipping himself is what he is thinking. Now, if that is the reason, and somebody doesn't oblige, well, this person feels slighted, and he feels, I wasn't respected, and I'm not going to go back there. All kinds of things happen as a result of that. Or dambhena, the tapas is done to show off, or out of false reasons. Have you heard some people saying, I'm fasting for Shivratri, I'm eating nothing today? And in their mind they're thinking, I've put on so much weight since New Year's, I better fast at least one day and lose some of it. They're fasting to lose weight, but they're telling everybody they're fasting for Mahashivratri. You've not met people like that? I have heard plenty like that. Rajasa, it is rajasic, and it is, Bhagavan says it is chalam and adhruvam. It is fickle and it is temporary. Meaning, see, if somebody is looking for honor, and that is why they're doing what they're doing, and then the results are not guaranteed for any of our actions. Imagine one of the cricket team players gets onto the cricket team and goes through all the discipline to be there, to say, when I come back to Guyana after playing internationally, everyone will applaud me and congratulate me and give me a wonderful reception, and then they go and lose. Are the Guyanese people waiting to applaud them and congratulate them and welcome them at the airport? Only if you win, you're getting that. Are they going to win all the time? So, if you do it for the wrong reason, you're bound to be disappointed. Now, the interesting thing is that this Rajasic tapas is the most common tapas that we all have, because any concentration to study, any concentration to achieve anything in life will require this kind of tapas. I want to study to top my class. I want to study to get a good job. I want to study to be recognized as one of the top CXC students, right? But I'm supposed to study because it is my duty to learn. So if I just switch my attitude a little bit, the same action that I'm doing, instead of just giving me good grades, it could give me happiness and peace of mind. It could take me to mukti. Just by changing my attitude, doing nothing else that is different. So Bhagavan is saying, change your attitude, na. See, this is Rajasic. Sattvic tapas is so much more powerful. And then what to say about Tamasic tapas? Let's chant that. Mura grahena atmanaha yat tapas that is being described now is tamasic. Tamasic tapas is mudha grahina. Under some foolish notion, they heard that if you do this kind of discipline, then it will bring some benefit to your life. And no sense in that discipline, and they've taken it on. Atmanaha pidaya. Torturing oneself in public or even alone. Like, some person thinks, if I come to the mandir, I'm going to take the tapas of not sitting. I'm going to stand the whole time I'm in the mandir. So they come and they stand. No matter how long satsang is, 2, 3, 4 hours, every time they come, I'm going to stand. Then you ask them, have you gotten any benefit from this tapas? No. But why are you doing it? Just cause. Troubling the body to stand for hours and hours for no reason. Right? Our Swami Tejomayananda said a nice thing. He said, man does not get peace by struggling or not struggling, but by understanding. So you can stand whole day, but if you don't understand what you're doing, it will make no difference in your life. Right? Or some people do tapas parasya utsadanartham, to destroy another person. Rakshasas do this kind of tapas. Have you seen? They go and they do tapas, and then when Bhagavan comes and says, what boon do you want? They say, I want the power to destroy this person, and I want it to be so powerful that I could overtake Indra. And so they're doing tapas to destroy another person. Right? Actually, this whole tamasic tapas can be summarized as, I am going to engage in something to get the kind of power that will show somebody else. Right? Tit for tat. That phrase is there, no? One person did something to me, so I'm going to do something back to them. The whole of Mahabharata is full of this. Amba. I don't know if you're all familiar with the story of Mahabharata, but Amba decides to do tapas to take revenge on Bhishma Pitama. Then Dronacharya decides to take revenge on Drupada. Then Drupada decides to take revenge on Dronacharya. Then Duryodhana decides to take revenge on Arjuna. And everyone decided to take revenge on each other and doing tapas and getting powers to do that. In the end, self-destruction only happens. So that is called tamasic tapas. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna is saying, do sattvic tapas. The best tapas that we should do is actually our duty. When a person engages in their duty, the kind of power that comes to their life is indescribable. If a woman takes up nari dharma, the dharma, a married woman takes up the dharma of being a good wife, that is the only thing she needs to do, and she will get mukti. Very clearly it is told in our scriptures. Because following our varna dharma or our ashrama dharma is one definition of tapas. You do what you're supposed to do as a student, that is tapas. You do what you're supposed to do as a householder, that is tapas. You do what you're supposed to do as a vanaprasthi, that is tapas. So you just stick to your duty and you do it well, not thinking, what am I going to get as a result of it? And it makes your personality shine. Right? And so like this, Bhagavan describes tapas. Tapas of body, tapas of speech, tapas of mind. And he also describes sattvic, rajasic and tamasic tapas, or discipline. Now Bhagavan Shri Krishna switches to dana. Dana meaning giving. It is terribly translated as charity. But charity does not do justice to dana. So let us see. In Ramayana, Bhagavan Sri Rama is called Dani Shiromani, the crest jewel of dana. Right? How Bhagavan gives, nobody else in the world can give like that. But there are good ways to give and there are bad ways to give. So let us see what is the best way, the most sattvic way to give. Let's chant verse number 20. that is now going to be described, this giving, this attitude of giving that is going to be described, is considered to be the most noble way of giving. What is that? The first one is datavyam iti, given with the feeling that it ought to be given. Meaning, you know, if there is somebody who's coming to the mandir every single day, and every single day they come and they do all the seva that is required, and they don't ask for anything, they don't say anything, you never need to tell them what needs to be done. Quietly they come and they do. Whether it is, they are not dry weather devotees. What was that, Panditji? They are not dry season devotees. They come every single day and they do what has to be done no matter what, right? Their birthday, their children's birthday, nothing stops them from coming. Now, everybody in the mandir sees them and appreciates them, and they never ask for anything. Is it not that in everyone's heart there will be a feeling, we want to express our gratitude to this person for all the seva that they're doing so silently and lovingly? Then you find out that their birthday is coming up. Then you think, oh, let's do something for them. You want to do something for a person who doesn't want anything from you, who's only giving, isn't it? Or, now you see, in this world, what have we been given? What have we been given by Bhagavan? We've been given our powers. Power to speak and hear and touch and taste and see and walk and move and think and act, and every single power that we have, we made it. You can make the power to see. No one will be blind. No one will need glasses. I can't make the power to see. I have to wear these things. Right? We were given endless, countless powers. Then the food we eat and the things we use, and did you make any of it? Or it was all given? Every single thing that we have found in this world that we enjoy has been given to us by Bhagavan. Our family, you think you choose your family? That baby comes into your house as a jiva who existed somewhere else. Bhagavan sent them to your family. Bhagavan gave us our family also. Right? Bhagavan gave us our friends. Every single thing that we have has been given to us. The capacity to enjoy the money that we have, the capacity to enjoy anything. Right? Food, water. So much has been given to us. Is it not incumbent on us to express gratitude for all the things that we have been given? If we don't express gratitude, it means we don't realize what we have been given. So just out of sheer understanding that I have been given so much, helplessly that feeling comes in this person's heart that I ought to give also. I ought to give back. Not I ought to give because I want something, but I have already been given. So out of that helpless gratitude, this person now gives or wants to give. And you know, these people never give that statement, you know, let me know if you need anything. Anything you need, I will give you. When you need something, you want to go and ask somebody, oh, you know, I need some towels. A real giver will come and observe, oh, the mandir needs towels, and they will give without you needing to ask also. Ought to be given. Helplessly they feel I should give. Right? Then, anupakarini. Real sattvic dana is giving to somebody who cannot return the favor. You know, if you give something to your friend, then your friend will think about how to return the favor. Then you will think, now they have given, now I should give back. In some cultures they have this thing, right? One person throws a party, then everyone thinks, oh, we have to do a return party for them. Then they do that. Then they think, oh no, now we have to do a party. People think only reciprocal giving. But Bhagavan is saying sattvic dana is when I give to somebody who cannot give me anything in return. For example, when you go to the supermarket and there's somebody behind you with only one thing. Now you have like 50 or 60 things in your trolley, and they have to wait for you to cash out your 60 things, and then you pack all 60 things before you go, before they pay for their one thing, and they go. Well, someone might say, you know what, you have one thing, just let the cashier ring it in and you go. What is this $500? It's nothing, I will cover it. You don't know who they are, you will never see them again, but just for no reason, you gave knowing that they will never know how to give back to you, right? Or at the toll booth when you reach the Demerara Bridge and there's somebody behind you and you say, here, it's okay, if you don't have change, keep it and cover the next person. They don't know who you are. They're not going to follow your car and be like, stop, 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 why did you pay this 200 for me? Take it. You gave it, not expecting anything in return. Now see, not that, I am giving so that one day someone will give for me. Some people would think that too. When I learned to drive very late in my life. I wasn't a teenager when I learned to drive. So driving is very scary for me still. So whenever I'm driving, I would think in my mind, I would let everyone cut in front of me. People trying to get in and cut. Mine is the best car to come in front of. I will always let you in. So one day someone was sitting next to me and they were like, why are you always letting people in? I was like, because when I'm driving, I want people to let me in too. That is, I'm doing something with the hope that I'm going to get something back. But Sattvic Dan is that I give without expecting anything. And the best way to expect nothing is to give to somebody who cannot give back to you. This is Sattvic Dan. Now Bhagavan says, Sattvic Dan is also Dan that is given Deshe Kale Cha Patre Cha, at the appropriate place, at the appropriate time, to the appropriate person. But what it is and all of that we will continue to see tomorrow night, because my time has finished. Right? Sattvic Dana we will continue tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be at Vishwanath Mandir in Canal number 1. You are all invited to join. I don't know, is that far from here?
No, it's not.
Okay, so if you would like to come, you are very welcome. Please do join us over there tomorrow as we continue. But a very special thank you to Panditji and all the members of this Akshardham Ashram for hosting the 92nd night of the 108 Nights Bhagavad Gita Yajna. The final night, 108th night, will culminate in Georgetown at the Gandhi Youth Cricket Ground on 3rd of May, which is a Saturday, at 5 p.m. You're all invited. It would be so wonderful to have members from every single mandir of the 108 mandirs. And all of you are welcome, not just some of you, but all of you are welcome. We hope to see you there. There will be satsang with Swamiji, there will be a grand finale program, there will be dinner for everybody, there will be presents for each family. Not that you should come because there's presents and food, but you're all invited, and we will request also for RSVP so we can make proper arrangements. Okay, in July, from 14th of July to July 30th, Chinmay Mission Guyana will be hosting a 3-week Bhagavad Gita summer camp. So this style of presentation is not for children, it's for adults, to sit and listen to what Bhagavan says and think about it. With the children, we do games and activities and stories, and we really take the values of Bhagavad Gita and we let it become internalized in a totally different way with fun and games. So that will be happening for children from July for 3 weeks. If you know any children or if you're interested in sending, we can probably organize transport if there's a good group to bring children to the ashram every day and bring them back. Our ashram is in Monripo. If you know anyone on that side also, you can let them know that they can come. Okay, last announcement. Chinmay Mission is a teaching organization. And so Chinmay Mission specializes in teaching all ages spirituality. We are starting in May, we're starting classes for 1.5-year-olds also. All the way from 1.5 years till Gurudev used to describe from the womb to the tomb. From the time a child is in the belly to the time a person is cremated, there is spirituality that is designed for them. So many classes are going on for different ages. Anything that you're interested in, you can check out Sanskrit, Ramayan, Gita, etc. going on online and at the ashram. Shiva Mission also has a 2-year Vedanta course. This is a course for people who are 30 years and under, unmarried, and have a university degree, who are interested in studying Sanatana Dharma systematically, clearly, and as it was taught in the Guru Shishya Parampara system, like in a Gurukul. So you go and you stay at the ashram for 2 years, and you have class every single day from 5:30 in the morning till 8 p.m. at night, and you study Vedic chanting, meditation, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Ramayana, Puja, Sanskrit, and you come out with a clear understanding of what our scriptures say about life, about yourself, and now you're able to, with this clarity of vision, share this knowledge, if you want, with anybody, right? So this opportunity is there. If you know anyone who's interested in studying Sanatana Dharma systematically, the next course is starting in Trinidad on October 2nd with Swami Prakashanandaji. And in this part of the world, you cannot find you cannot find a more amazing Acharya that will teach you with love and clarity like Swamiji. Right? So if someone is interested, this is a super opportunity for them. Please do let them know. Alright, we'll do Aarti now and then I will pass it back. Is that okay?
You do Aarti.
Yeah?
I want to do this Sankat Mochan Ausham. As we normally will do, and then the meaning of it, and then you can do,
Okay, sure. You can do that and then we will do Bhagavad Gita Aarti and then we'll close.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, please go ahead. Sorry, ask Panditji.
Sukhi vase sansar sabha, Sukhi vase sansar sabha, Sukhi vase sansar sabha, Dukhiya rahe na koi, Yaha abhilasha ho sabki, Bhagavan puri hoi, Vidya
May knowledge and intellect balance and strength prevail in all, that no one suffer deficiency of food and wealth. O Lord, let my life be replete with your love and devotion. May my life be far
Shri Krishna Chandra Bhavani ki Jai. You do your arati now, right? Yes. Let's all stand.
Kama Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव।
Just stand right there, touch your friend. We stand as one family, bound each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all tendencies and false values within and without us. A noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than what we consume and giving more than what we take. We seek the Lord's grace to put us on the path of virtue, courage and wisdom. May His grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service to our country is a service to the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is a devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities and we depend upon Him to give us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Hari Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Praises to Bolo Sri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki.